Welcome to this short sequence to help open your hips, ease out your knees and your ankles. Standing tall, starting with the weight on one foot, sliding the other leg forwards and backwards. I'm going to take you through some variations depending on your range of motion, how stiff your hips may be feeling, how good your balance might be. So we started with just sliding the foot forwards and backwards. Now we can add a little lift. If you need to rest your hand on a piece of furniture to get some extra balance or put it onto the wall, not a problem. Your slightly more advanced move is to lift the foot up and down without sliding it in and out. The height that you lift the foot is entirely up to you. Even if the toes only just leave the ground, it still counts. So now taking the foot out to the side, starting with the slightly easier version, toes facing forwards. Again, the foot doesn't need to leave the ground. You can just slide the leg in and out. Slightly trickier for the hips, as you'll notice it shifted mine. Turn the toes out to the side. Lift and lower the foot from the floor. Any pinching, any pain through the hips when you're doing this, turn the foot forwards. Be a little gentler on it. So again, you're seeing now without the foot lift, sliding the foot in and out. And now taking the foot out behind, so the body stays tall. We're trying to maintain some sort of neutral spine, attempting to straighten out the knee as we lengthen the leg out behind, working into the bottom muscle, hamstring and thigh. Showing you now some variations. It's a little tricky with your toes to slide the leg in and out, but do what you can. You're aiming for up to 10 repetitions in each direction. Going over onto the other side. So starting with the easiest, foot sliding forwards and backwards. You only have to do this if lifting your toes are off the floor is problematic. So just 10 repetitions of whichever variation you've chosen. Going out to the side again for 10 repetitions. Doing what you can according to your balance and the range of motion with your hips. Not worrying too much about the height that you're lifting. We're now going to mix it up a little bit. So we're going round the whole sequence again, but this time with knees bent, as I'm showing you, trying not to hinge the body forwards, trying to stand tall, tailbone tucking just into that neutral spine position. So again, we're targeting the bottom, the thighs, the hamstrings and the hips. Same principle, the foot can stay on the floor and slide in and out, or you can lift the toes. Working up to 10 repetitions. Personally, I like to do it with a straight standing leg and then a bent standing leg and then switch to the other side, but you can mix and match. You'll notice that your foot and ankle on the side with the bent knee start to work quite hard. You may find your balance a little bit more challenged with the bent knee. Try and remind yourself to sink low as you're doing the stretch. Changing onto the other side, supporting using the furniture if you need to. I'm doing the easier version now with the toes sliding forwards and backwards, trying to avoid kicking the Pilates cat. And again out to the side. Sliding out behind, trying to keep balance, keeping the body low. Lifting and lowering the feet. Standing tall to just circle through the ankles, rotating in both directions, both feet, just a bit of movement. We have one more standing balance just to try and encourage some more movement into the hips. So again, if you need to use a piece of furniture for balance, that's fine. I tend to keep my hands on my hips because I like to feel them facing forwards. Your easiest version is to keep the toes on the ground or to press the foot gently onto your standing leg. And you're looking to try and keep the hips facing forwards as the knee rotates out to the side. If you need things to be more challenging, you can take the knee a little bit higher, lifting the foot fully off the ground. So it's entirely up to you the versions that you choose, up to 10 repetitions. Trying to focus on slow and controlled movements hips facing forwards. Toes can come to the floor or not. This is just showing you how you can do it without holding onto the hips. I tend to find my hips rotate from side to side a little bit more with the hands out, but you might prefer it. And of course you can then use the hand onto anything for balance if you need to. So your easiest version is toes on the floor, just gently moving the knee out to the side, coming up a little bit higher if you want to challenge things a bit more. Or alternatively, taking the foot off your standing leg, picking the knee right the way up, opening out to the side. Just building up the repetitions. If you feel clunks and crunches through the hips, don't worry. So from here, coming down onto the mat now, a little bit of resistance to help switch the thigh muscles on and the lower part of the abdominals. One leg is stretched out away from you along the mat. Both hands are pressing one on top of the other onto the very top of your thigh. The leg is starting in tabletop position. And we're providing some resistance with the hands as we pull the knee in towards the nose. So every breath out, I'm pushing hard with both hands and pulling in with the knee at the same time. Breathing in, I relax the tension. Breathing out to press again. It makes for a not very exciting video, I'm afraid. I build up to 5 repetitions in that position. Then I'm trying a little different variation, hovering my leg just off the floor for 5 breaths again, before then bringing the knee in, relaxing the back into the ground. And then we change. Pushing hard again. This is the variation with the lower leg lifted just off the floor, hovering it just off the ground. Build up to 5 repetitions. Making sure your out breath lasts as long as you can. And then relaxing, pulling the knee into the chest, softening the back into the ground. Still on the principle of some resistance. Both hands, one on top of the other, to the inside of the knee now. The knee is trying to pull across your body. The hands are resisting that movement and pushing back as I breathe out. Knee coming across, hands pushing back. Every breath out, creating the resistance, breathing in to relax. Trying to make sure that my foot doesn't lead the way, the knee and the ankle are traveling together. Up to 10 repetitions here. Taking your time and just circling the knee in the hip joint before changing to the other side. So the leg starts in tabletop position, sliding the other leg away along the mat. Breathing out to push hard, both hands onto the top of the leg, drawing in with the knee. Breathing in to release, breathing out for the effort. Up to 10 repetitions here. And you can either flow straight into the lower leg lifted variation, or you can take a little pause and hug the knee into your chest. Here I've gone straight into it. Work up to 10 repetitions. See how you get on. Taking the knee into the chest for a little relax, pulling it all the way in, holding the shin. If this is too much for your knee, hold behind the back of the thigh, releasing the shin away from you. Now for the knee coming across the body, breathing out to pull the knee across, pushing back with both hands. Breathing out on the effort, breathing in to relax. Again, working up to 10 repetitions here. Whatever you can do with good form. Head, neck and shoulders are staying relaxed. Should be aware of this through the triceps, the backs of the arms, inner thigh, outer thigh. And just circling the knee round in the hip joint. Or circling the thigh bone, through the hip joint. And then placing the foot down. I'm just joining the soles of my feet together, letting the backs of the knees fall out to the sides, relaxing my lower back into the ground. Little chance for an inner thigh stretch. using the hands to help bring the knees back in. Now walking one hand up the back of my leg, being careful to avoid the back of the knee, so either going a little below or a little above. Supporting legs sliding away along the mat, trying to draw in my straight upper leg as much as I can. You can use a band or a strap or a belt here if that would help. Gently bending the knee and walking the leg back down, changing to the other side. Drawing the opposite leg in, sliding your supporting leg away along the mat. And then gently starting to walk the hands back down the leg, releasing it down. So, now pressing both palms into the floor, careful to keep both shoulders down, extending both legs up to the ceiling. So here, just trying to pull my shoulder blades down away from my ears, pressing them gently into the ground. As I breathe out, I'm pushing into my hands and my shoulders, opening the legs. Breathing out to push into the floor to change over. I'm exaggerating it here with my hands so you can see as I breathe in, I release the pressure through my hands. I breathe out, push down through the floor and switch the legs. Working up to 10 repetitions here. I'm focusing on drawing one leg in towards me, not worrying about how low the other leg goes. And then just to finish, bringing both knees in over the chest, rocking the hips gently or circling them round to massage the back out. Feet resting to the floor, letting both knees fall from side to side. Just a final stretch. Let me know how you get on. Hopefully this will just wake everything up. A good start before going into any of the other videos in the range.